Welcome. This webinar is going to cover OmegaOne from an officer's level of access. To kick us off, I want to highlight the support options located within the OmegaOne desktop application. First, you will see the red Get Help button in the top toolbar. If you click here, you are directed to the OmegaOne Help Center that includes articles to support any questions you have about the application. They are organized based on the left menu within the application. The next support option is the blue support bubble in the bottom right-hand corner. By clicking here, you get a search bar. For example, if you have a question about how to add a file, you can type that in and we will provide you with the steps on how to do so. So let's go ahead and type that in here. How to set up files and folders. Here you will see the steps on how to add a file and create a new folder. If you are unable to find the answer to your question, you can connect with our software support team by clicking Contact Us in the bottom right-hand corner. Another option for getting help in OmegaOne is going to be the Click Tour. You can find that in the brown toolbar on every single page in OmegaOne. This is going to take you through the features of each page with various pop-up bubbles. Now we're going to take a look at the top right-hand corner where you see your name, your organization, and your school. If you hover and click here, a few options appear. Let's click on My Profile. Here you will see all your personal information. If your organization has a national partnership with OmegaOne, then much of this information will pull directly from your national database. If not, you will need to add your information by clicking the pencil icon on each section. I want to note that you will not automatically be opted in to receiving text message notifications, but you can opt in from this page. That can be done in OmegaOne Preferences, and then checking the box Receive Text Messages. In addition to that, you'll want to ensure that you've added your mobile number here in the Contact Information section. Now we're going to go back to how it looks when you first sign in to OmegaOne. You're going to land on the OmegaOne Wall. This is where you can share updates with your chapter and view updates shared by your officers and admins. You can also like and comment on posts right here. You can add a comment to include an attachment or an image. This wall is going to function very similar to a social media feed. By clicking the three dots next to each post, you have a couple of options. You can ignore notifications for that post or delete it. And I want to know that anyone in OmegaOne can delete a post. Now we'll look at the left menu. By clicking on Menu in the top left, you can expand the options and view the label for each tool. First is the Academics tab. Here you can access classmates and study hours. We'll click on Classmates first. This is a tool that allows you to plug in your course codes to see if you have classes with anyone else in your chapter. Up next on Academics is Study Hours. I want to first note that to record study hours, you will need to download the OmegaOne mobile app, which is available for both Apple and Android devices. On the desktop version, you can view your total study hours for the week, your total study hours for the semester, all that you've recorded, and you can also view your rank in the chapter. And down below here, you'll see a log of all study hours that you've recorded. If you click on the hamburger menu in the top right, you will see a few additional options. First, you have a weekly breakdown, blocked hours, appealing for study hours, past appeals, and then a print option. Blocked hours are time frames where you are not able to log study hours, and these are going to be set up by your admin. Let's take a look at how to appeal for study hours. You'll first click here, fill out the information, so whether you're going to add or subtract hours, how many hours, the date, the location of the study hours, and then the attachment if necessary. After academics is my account. This houses the points feature and then switch OmegaOne. Many chapters use a point system to give members credit for attending events, volunteering, etc. OmegaOne has a point tracking feature that makes this simple for you. Here you will see all of the points possibilities and how many points you received for each of them. Up at the top you can view your total points, total possible points, your percentage, and then your rank. To appeal for points, you will simply click Appeal next to that event, add how many points you're requesting, the reason for the appeal, and an attachment if necessary. The request will be then sent to your admin and they can approve or deny. Moving on the left menu we have Contacts. First you'll see a list, a contacts list, a faces tool, and then the birthdays feature. If we click on the contacts list, you will see that this is just a list of all chapter members that can be filtered by access level or member type. This is a great place to get a list of emails and or phone numbers. You can also export the information via Excel and tailor the report to the information that you need. Next under contacts is Faces. This is a tool that allows you to view members' profile pictures. This is going to be great for those larger chapters when it comes to getting to know a new member class. And finally, we have Birthdays. This is going to give you a list of all your chapter members' birthdays. Next up is the Communications tab. From here, you can access announcements, the calendar, files, and question symbols. First, we'll look at announcements. You can view all announcements posted by other officers and administrators here. If there are any attachments, you can download them directly from this page. Let's look at how to manage announcements as an officer. A quick note. As an officer, you will access all of the management tools under the Admin Tools menu on the left-hand side. To add a new announcement, you will click in the top left corner where it says Add Announcement. First, you'll add your title, your announcement, any attachments, whether you want to add the attachments to a specific folder, who the announcement is going to be visible to, and how you want to notify your chapter members of the announcement. Also from this page, you can view previous announcements. You can edit them by clicking the pencil icon, or you can delete them by clicking the X. Following announcements, we have the calendar. On the calendar, you will only be able to view the events available to you as set by other officers or admins. You can view more details about each event by clicking on it, like so. You will also see a few other options. You can sync the event to your personal Apple, Microsoft, or Google Calendar, and or submit an excuse. By clicking the My Calendar settings, you can filter whose birthdays are appearing on the calendar. Over in the right-hand corner, you can view previous excuses and whether or not they were approved or denied. You can export the entire calendar to your personal Google, Apple, or Microsoft calendar. You can also filter which events are appearing on the calendar, and then you have an option to print. I do want to make an important note. Checking into calendar events must be completed for your OmegaOne application on your mobile device. To manage calendar events as an officer, you'll click on Admin Tools and Manage Calendar. The calendar here is almost identical to the one that regular members can view, with a few additional options. If we take a look at an existing event, you'll see the option to edit or delete, view checked-in members, show a passcode if that's the check-in method, regenerate a passcode if needed, and view excuses. To add a new event, you'll click Add Event in the top left corner. You will then add your title, description, who the event is visible to, the date and time, whether it's a recurring event, the check-in type, whether excuses are allowed, and how members are going to be notified of the event. Next, we'll look at managing excuses, as that is directly tied into managing events. To manage excuses, you'll go to Admin Tools, Manage Excuses. From this page, you can view all current excuses to approve or deny them. You can also see resolved excuses by clicking this tab. By clicking the menu, then Settings, you can select if an officer will be notified when excuses are submitted and who it will be. You'll simply check this box and then select the officer and click Update Settings. Next up on the left menu are Files. This is a file management system where you can access folders and files visible to you. Files with a lock next to them are going to require a passcode. And next to each individual file, you'll see a magnifying glass and then a download option. To look at files from the officer side, you will go to Admin Tools, Manage Files. To add a new file or external link, you will click that button. Choose your media, add a description, select who it will be visible to, add a password if you'd like, select whether it's going into a pre-existing folder, and of course how your chapter members are going to be notified of the new file. The final item under Communications is the Questions and Poll tool. This is where you can answer any questions posted by other officers or admins. You can also view results from closed questions and polls. Now we'll take a look at how to manage questions and polls. First, you'll go to Admin Tools, and then Manage Questions and Polls. From this page, you can view results, edit existing questions and polls, or delete them. To add a new question or poll, you will click the button in the top left corner. I want to highlight this first tool here. This is a quick vote feature. This is a tool that will cause the question to pop up on every screen in OmegaOne until members respond. Using the quick vote option can be extremely helpful when you need answers ASAP. You will then add the question name, the actual question, any necessary files. You'll select who the question is visible to, and the answer type, and then there are a couple of other options here for you to select from. And finally, you'll determine how members are notified of the new question or poll. As an officer, there are a couple of other options from the Admin Tools menu. They are going to be managing groups and managing emails and text messages. We'll first look at managing emails and text. For an email, click Send Email in the top tab. You'll first add a reply to email, who you're going to send the message to, the subject, and then the content of the email. You can add an attachment if necessary, and then you'll determine whether you're going to email now or email later. For a text message, you'll click Send Text Message in the top toolbar. You'll select your recipients and type the message. Now, you will notice that in both the email and the text message, you have an option to select a group of people to send your message to. We're now going to look at managing these groups. You'll go to Admin Tools, Manage Groups. From this page, you can opt to send an email or a text to a specific group by clicking the icon next to that group. You can edit the group, view who's in that group, or delete it if you want. Finally, the last option in the left menu is the Log Out button. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about OmegaOne from the officer member perspective. If you need further guidance from the normal perspective or the admin access level, please see the corresponding webinars.